Sundance just finished, and we're going to be talking to Kevin Bacon. Also talking to an actor who's an entrepreneur, the future of the entertainment industry. It's next.
I've spent a decade taking a bite out of conspiracy theories, unraveling urban legends, and grappling with worldwide top secret issues.
I've even racked up some of their awards.
All while ferreting out the bottom line.
On all topics, controversial, bizarre, and taboo. Interviewing movers and shakers, agitators and muckrakers.
But that doesn't answer my question. That is all I'm answering.
With me, Carrie Harrison, as your guide.
Harrison with you, inviting you for a one-time only chance to see Cuba before the new restrictions kick in. This one-week Cuba cruise in May will land at all three of Cuba's classic ports, from world-famous Havana all the way to Che Guevara's city of Cienfuegos. And what's an expedition without delicious food, music, and culture? Even onboard talks with multiple experts to give us personal insight into the massive changes taking place in Cuba today. We also can help the Cuban people by bringing some over-the-counter medicines and art supplies. Go to kpfk.org and look for the Cuba banner to get full details. Finally, the chance to be among the first to see Cuba in 50 years. Go to kpfk.org and click the Cuba banner for more details. I am leading this tour, and I can't wait to have you with me. Harrison with you, live streaming and live FM broadcasting up and down the east and west coast of the state of California, where we do have our stuff together, as you'll find out in just a moment. I want to talk to you a little bit about the entertainment industry, how it has changed just following Sundance. We've got with us right now a man named Zac Wiestein, and he is a more than just a typical actor, but he's an entrepreneur. He can actually read and write and do all kinds of special tricks here. And we're going to kind of get into the key. Also, we're going to talk to Kevin Bacon in just a moment and a few others as we review Sundance. And Zac, I want to welcome you to the Carrie Harrison Show. And
thank you for having me.
For sure, and you won't be had here. You'll actually be honored.
Yeah, I
know,
appreciate it.
Slightly different technique here. One of the things as an actor, people come here with the template in mind. Well, I'll just show up to Hollywood and I'll pay for a headshot and I'll pay for this and pay for that and pay for that. And then because you come from places, as you did, Baltimore, where maybe they actually have light rail, you come to L.A., there's no light rail. In fact, you can't even really successfully ride the buses. So now you have to buy a car, and that comes with car insurance, along with everything else. Now you're about 18, 20 grand in the hole, and it's week number one.
Well, luckily I decided to drive from the East Coast to here, so didn't have the issue. I brought the car, so... But, a lot of people, they sit there and they wait for opportunities to happen. And I'm a firm believer that if you want something to happen, you want an opportunity, right, you go out and you create it. So, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm approaching it as, not from a lot of people think very small-minded. They say, I'm going to wait for this golden goose opportunity, this one audition is going to land in my lap, and I'm going to crush it. And overnight, I'm going to be famous. And, that happens sometimes, but... I don't want to wait for that opportunity, and I don't know why people do. So I'm creating content. I'm partnering up with some big producers who are doing some big things, and I like to say I'm the hype man. I bring a lot of passion to it. I work my butt off.
And you're 6 foot.
I'm 6'3". That helps.
Well, then you are the hype man.
I am the height and the hype. Exactly.
And here's kind of what's interesting. I was at Sundance, and this is where I met Zac, and we were having this long conversation of what does the future look like, because there are people from all over trying to figure it out. I mean, as we have now really fully converted from the analog experience to the digital, streaming gets Academy Awards. Mm-hmm. Streaming gets Emmys, Academy Awards and Emmys. So the world has changed.
They've all these new categories, daytime Emmys, and everything for downloadable series and all that stuff.
For sure. And one of the things that you did is you went from L.A. to Sundance because you smartly intuited, that's where the action is. Now, let me just give you a little secret here in Hollywood. Let's say you want to interview a big star or get to an agent or a big company. You might wait 6 months if they take your call. You go to Sundance, and it's like, pardon me, at the McDonald's.
Oh, it's
Alfre Woodard, Redford is sitting there sucking on a coffee. That's where they all are at one time in one place. And you figured this out. You showed up, and now good things have happened.
Yeah, well, I actually last year when I had really committed myself to producing and, obviously acting, the year before, I decided if I was really going to go after it, I had to be somewhere, like you said, where everyone is and I could meet people who mattered. Not saying that casting directors and agents and managers don't matter, but at the end of the day, if you're competing with 50,000 people who are all auditioning for one role and it's cast, nationwide, your chances are slim. But if you skip that whole process and you find the producer or the director of that film and you hit it off with them and they like you and they think you have some talent, hopefully, I mean, you make life a lot easier for yourself. And that's what, that's how I think
it goes back to the Bible even. I mean, it's all about relationships, and it really is. We were talking about streaming a minute ago and how you can win Emmys and Academy Awards. I mean, Kevin Spacey has changed the face of Netflix with House of Cards. Now there's many. Amazon Prime has a new one called I Love Dick.
Who does it?
And I'm not, it's Amazon Prime. I'm not making it up. This is my special hat. Though it is my special hat.
Right. You got it from Sundance, right?
Right. So, we were looking there exploring, instead of just old-fashioned 35 millimeter, 70 millimeter, whatever films or digital movies now, but the streaming thing is magnificent. And the names of shows, to be able to catch attention, get funding, and make it work, like I Love Dick. Here's a conversation with Kevin Bacon looking at this and how he relates to it. Also, what was interesting about this is it retells untraditional relationships where the husband and wife both like dick. It's modern America.
So I hear you guys are moving to Texas?
He's got a residency there. Okay. Don't let me eat anymore.
I won't.
Okay, let me have one more bite, and then I won't have any.
No. Oh, come on.
I mean, is it weird that this is not at all what I expected?
You look great. If we didn't have to be somewhere, I would throw you down.
Have you met Dick?
Oh, there he is.
Kevin Bacon, you are the star of I Love Dick. And I know we can giggle about the name, and we will.
We love that we are forcing people to say that title again and again and again.
Right, especially in a public place, not only on TV but on streams, which means it has a permanent shelf life.
Yeah, now I see that there's some people that have gotten, since this is Sundance, there has to be swag, so people have some I Love Dick hats, which takes a lot of courage to wear that.
A real resale on eBay.
Yeah.
So, it's great also that this has a wonderful sort of a secret tone right now in the world. The recent March of Women, the largest gathering in all of humankind. It's huge. And so this story also pokes a little bit at the male patriarchy, doesn't it?
Sure it does, yeah. I mean, that was kind of, part of Jill's reason for creating this show, and Sarah Gubbins, the other, writer, and it is from, as Jill would describe it, from the female gaze. It is being able to look at love and love triangles and sex from a very kind of female perspective and point of view. And one of the interesting things is that in a different version of this, where the genders were flipped, I would be an object, and yet because it's coming from the female perspective, the character ends up being much more complex than it probably would from a male. Like if this was the male version of it, I think I would be a mermaid or something, And so now I am an artist and a confused and interesting kind of dude.
Sundance is, of course, the plot of the play because it is where it all happens. Imagine it as the foreplay for the Academy Awards, where everybody is in a 1 mile radius getting drunk and rubbing elbows. And that was your experience, Zac, is you jumped off the high dive, went there, and good things happened.
Oh, yeah. Really since going to Sundance, things have, really picked up for me. Producing a few films right now. I'm producing my 4th film in 4 months.
That's all?
Yeah, and keep them busy.
4 and 4.
Yeah, 4 and 4, and acting in all of them as well. I have a few things in the works that I'm really excited about. Directed my first film this past year, so I just submitted it to all the festivals. And again, a lot of it is you surround yourself with the people you want to be like. You surround yourself with positive energy and people doing what you want to do. I mean, success breeds success.
Harrison with you here at the Sundance Film Festival. We're standing in front of the famous annual Outfest Queer Brunch, and next to me is Lucy Mukerjee Brown. She's the director of programming for Outfest. Outfest is let's just call it the Sundance for queer film. It's been going on for many years, and because of your good work, Lucy, by the way, many films that we now know as mainstream films are actually out and available for everybody.
That's right. Many of the films that play at the festival go on to screen at festivals all over the world and get distribution. So we're doing our part to help change the hearts and minds of the world. That's how we like to think about it.
It's also wonderful that you're a woman, and right now, women are on the radar. Let's face it, just in recent days, the largest gathering in the world of humans, by the way, was the March for Women. It is now the largest gathering of people in human history.
I didn't know that.
It's huge.
That's amazing.
Right?
It felt really powerful to be at that march, and hearing the speakers at the rally was a very emotional experience, and it was a reminder that we have a responsibility at Outfest to make sure that queer voices don't get silenced. A lot of us feel like we have targets on our back. If we're women, if we're people of color, if we're queer, if you're all three of those things, it feels like a very dangerous time. These themes resonate the world over, so we've got to champion these films and get the word out.
That was beautifully well put. I could never replicate it backwards, forwards, or even with a German accent, so I vote yes for you, Lucy Mukerjee Brown, Director of Programming for Outfest here at the Sundance Film Festival. Harrison with you, inviting you for a one-time only chance to see Cuba before the new restrictions kick in.
This one-week Cuba cruise in May will land at all three of Cuba's classic ports, from world-famous Havana all the way to Che Guevara's city of Cienfuegos. And what's an expedition without delicious food, music, and culture? Even onboard talks with multiple experts to give us personal insight into the massive changes taking place in Cuba today. We also can help the Cuban people by bringing some over-the-counter medicines and art supplies. Go to kpfk.org and look for the Cuba banner to get full details. Finally, the chance to be among the first to see Cuba in 50 years. Go to kpfk.org and click the Cuba banner for more details.
I am leading this tour, and I can't wait to have you with me.
From Hollywood, this is Harrison.
Well, you're a good template for how it does work successfully. How do we follow you on social media and other things?
You can follow me on Instagram at Zac Wiestein, Z-A-C Weinstein, W-E-I-N-S-T-E-I-N. And also on Facebook, Z-A-C space Weinstein, W-E-I-N-S-T-E-I-N.
All right. Well, we're going to have you back again because I love entrepreneurialism and I love lifestyle stuff. The hard politics, I'm just like a tea bag endlessly steeping in it, but occasionally I like to remember that we're humans and without each other we're just royally screwed. So I'm so glad you came on.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I can't wait.
All right, my friend Harrison with you. This is the Carrie Harrison Show. Back in a flash. Harrison with you, inviting you for a one-time only chance to see Cuba before the new restrictions kick in.
This one-week Cuba cruise in May will land at all three of Cuba's classic ports, from world-famous Havana all the way to Che Guevara's city of Cienfuegos. And what's an expedition without delicious food, music, and culture? Even onboard talks with multiple experts to give us personal insight into the massive...
Harrison with you, live streaming and live FM broadcasting up and down the east and west coast of the state of California, where we do have our stuff together, as you'll find out in just a moment. I want to talk to you a little bit about the entertainment industry, how it has changed just following Sundance. We've got with us right now a man named Zac Wiestein, and he is a more than just a typical actor, but he's
Secret issues.
I've even racked up some of their awards.
All while ferreting out the bottom line.
On all topics, controversial, bizarre, and taboo. Interviewing movers and shakers, agitators and muckrakers.
But that doesn't answer my question. That is all I'm answering.
With me, Gary Harrison, as your guide.
Changes taking place in Cuba today. We also can help the Cuban people by bringing some over-the-counter medicines and art supplies. Go to kpfk.org and look for the Cuba banner to get full details. Finally, the chance to be among the first to see Cuba in 50 years. Go to kpfk.org and click the Cuba banner for more details.
I am leading this tour, and I can't wait to have you with me. Sundance just finished, and we're going to be talking to Kevin Bacon. Also talking to an actor who's an entrepreneur, the future of the entertainment industry. It's next.
I've spent a decade taking a bite out of conspiracy theories, unraveling urban legends, and grappling with worldwide top